1. And we're back. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
let's break it down.
Are we gonna break it down?
We said we weren't going to do that.
All right. I'll save this Disney runs the known universe story for later.
Oh my God.
Oh, they pulled some shit this week. I'll tell you about it. But since we have some extra estrogen
Females.
in the basement, we come to you seeking advice.
My child.
I'm just going to tell you a quick story, okay?
I've been listening to you since I was 12, but I'll give you advice.
Please, because I think all the guys on the podcast have been going out of our way and trying harder to be better feminists. I think, and Leigh has certainly led that charge, helping us. He brings the Leeses. So
100%, 100%.
Because we're all scared of him.
But there was, and I tell the story a lot and I use it as an example to guys who aren't aware that they're doing things wrong.
You woke.
You ain't woke. I was at a comic book store in Pasadena, and I went in there to pick up some stuff, just visiting relatives. And there was a girl came in, and she said to the guy behind the counter, says, I can you recommend some Batman stories for me? That's it.
A pretty reasonable request.
A reasonable request.
In a comic book store.
In a comic book store. This is what you sell. Can you recommend? Easy, you'd think. No, it got into a whole thing where he started quizzing her. And it's like, was this for your boyfriend? I was like, no, I'm just genuinely interested in some good Batman stories.
Right, she's probably watched some of the movies.
Yeah, I saw the movie and I liked it, and I wanted to read some stories, some good Batman stories, and and he turned it into this whole Inquisition thing. And so she gets angry, she turns and leaves, and I stop her as she's leaving, and I said, look, okay, he's an asshole. Don't buy your comics. Don't buy your comics here. First of all,
right? But go buy these ones, right?
But there's, I'm sure there's and I showed her the comic book locator thing on the web, and I said, look, you've got one it's not far from here, and try out a couple of these. And I gave her a list. I said, there you go, and she went, thank you.
Yeah,
so she
go get the Dark Knight.
And
that's all you have to fucking do.
Start with
the
the basics.
killing joke.
Yeah, some
basics.
basics.
So easy.
Easy answers to this. I don't know why this guy had to be an asshole. And he chased money out the store.
That's his problem.
So, but we encounter this a lot. Give us some examples here.
I think what you did is prime example. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, hold on. Before I get ratchet, let me think about this.
Ooh,
okay.
For those who don't know what ratchet means,
explain.
She's gonna pop one open.
We pop the trunk on your bitch ass.
They don't know what that means either. A lot of people that listen to the show don't know what ratchet.
Please explain.
I am so happy you're here.
I'm just saying, please explain, because I want to use those if I could.
I'm gonna let Kerry go because I gotta think about my answer.
Yeah.
All right.
So for those who aren't black, getting ratchet involves getting mad and getting angry, especially about people who aren't listening to you.
Triggered.
But for me, I've been relentlessly quizzed before. It's called gatekeeping. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Yeah. Where the joke that I always use is like, oh, you got Led Zeppelin on your shirt. How many Zeppelins do you like that are lead? Like, it's these stupid platitudes.
And I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a thing people really say?
Yes.
Oh, fuck
it really is,
oh, yeah.
though.
They do it to my wife all the time. She has a Led Zeppelin shirt, and she gets it all the time.
Lady, how many Zeppelins?
I'm like, look, I'm just happy that you like the same band I do. I don't care.
It doesn't fucking matter if you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. I went to a friend's birthday dinner about 4 years ago, and I've always been a huge Batman fan. Barbara Gordon is my bae. I know more about Batman than most men do, especially about like Birds of Prey was a huge thing in the 80s, and that's the first comic book series that I ever read. And I went to a dinner with my friend, and he was like, okay, well, if you really like Batman, how many Robins are there? And we were like listing them off, listing the Robins. Yeah. And he forgot about Stephanie Brown.
How dare he?
How fucking dare he?
And did you look at him and go, "You basic"?
Yeah, that's what I did though. And
did you get ratchet and pop the trunk on his ass?
I got ratchet and popped the trunk on his ass.
I popped the bit of my call on his ass.
Yeah.
But again,
But even now, 4 years later, he still talks about how butthurt he is about it. Like, if that hurts you to be quizzed, imagine how I feel every single time.
I don't understand it.
And I don't care if you can name all the Robins.
Neither do
Let's
I.
enjoy Batman together. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. I'm just glad that there are people I
Yes.
can talk to.
Well, no, I just love it when anybody walks up to me and it's like, hey, I want to know more about this thing. And it happens. It's been happening more and more over the last decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I saw the Avengers, and I really like this character. What should I read? And I would never be like, well, let's make sure you really like this character, little girl.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? or anybody. I
Exactly.
don't fucking get it.
Well, and it's, as far as what you guys in particular are doing wrong, nothing. I've been invited on this show before. This is my second time.
We love having
we
you.
invite you
Yeah.
back.
This is amazing.
But also, not only that, but you guys are my friends. You have always been Kerry Jackson has always been the little nerd voice validating me. In middle school when I was a kid, he was like, it's okay to be a nerd. Even if you don't have friends, you have me.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I have to give a shout out to you, though. You were one of the OG Geek Show fans.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, that's
I
right.
was.
You were always there, at our first,
I was arguing with Zach Shutt on your forum before you shut it down.
I had to.
Well, no,
Oh, I
you
respected
you were
that.
always there at the at the early movie nights and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's
Because then it's particularly, not to blow smoke up Kerry's ass, and I probably am slightly starstruck, but this is a person who has said that it's, I know. This is a person who has said that it's okay to be a nerd and has never made gender a part of it. You know what I mean?
I was, I always tell the story about how my first sci-fi convention in high school and in Provo.
I know this
And it's
story.
30 sweaty guys.
Right.
And I was thrilled the next sci-fi convention that I went to that there were girls there. I
Three
just went,
girls.
I'm glad they're here. Let's not chase them away.
I agree.
You know?
I agree because here's a weird thing that I'm about to admit on a microphone.
Okay.
Kari helped me be a better black person.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's like, oh.
The hell?
I'm half Polynesian to my credit.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the fact that when she reached out to me hey, let's go see I Am Not Your Negro together. That was one of the best nights I've ever
And
had.
then he followed it up with a palate cleanser of La La Land.
Yes, I did. I had to see.
So he was so
that was
traumatized by
yeah.
the LA riots footage that
So
he had to go watch La La
That was
Land.
his pickled ginger.
Yeah, it was his pickled ginger.
No,
in
but-
between scoops of gelato.
But no, and even same with meeting you, Kiki. It was just when we bonded over Overwatch like a motherfucker, and I was like, Overwatch has become my central nucleus of everything that is geek because it's just a game that is so inclusive yet stereotypical, but it's so inclusive, and women love it, and everyone from every background loves it, and that's what I love about being a geek is that it's for everybody.
No, yeah, and the geeks who are complaining about how massive, I'll use Archon for example, Salt Lake Comic Con. There are so many people there. Well, they're all not true fans. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a.
They're having a good
fuck.
time.
I'm glad that they're checking out what we love.
Right.
I'm come to church. Come to my church and join
That's
it.
all-
You know?
What's a true
what it
fan,
is.
though?
Yeah.
What's a true fan? I bet they've all seen the fucking movies.
So-
And if you're a
right.
fan and that's all you've watched, who fucking cares?
Do you guys
So the-
remember Conduit?
Yeah.
Did you go to Conduit?
Yes.
I used to be a LARPer, and I would go to. So I used to love fantasy sci-fi. I used to love Star Trek is one of my favorite things ever. I've seen every episode of Star Trek ever. And I remember going to Conduit and talking to other fans there,
Yeah.
and it was because we took care of each other. It was a convention of 300 people,
Yeah.
and we were all I was 15 years old, and I could sit at the table with Kerry Jackson and talk to him about Star Trek. It was because there were so few of us, we had to take care of each other.
And before that, though, there were some cons, and they're out of business now, thank God, who weren't that inclusive.
Sure.
They would have the stormtrooper guys wanted to help with security, and they were told no because this is a Star Trek convention. But Anime Bonsai, when you go up to Anime Bonsai, those kids don't care.
Sure
You know,
don't.
And
I see.
just went.
I see Spider-Man walking amongst all the Nerados and all that. And they're
I
all
think
getting along. And they're having a good time.
Anime Bonsai, because we used to go there every year,
Yeah,
is one of the most joyful fucking things
so
I've
fun.
ever seen.
it is.
It's
Those
so
people
fun.
don't fucking care.
It's
Those
a-
don't.
dweebs, I love them.
They're such fucking prom and shit like that.
Unabashed dweebs.
The
Yeah.
rave was so much fun. I love the rave.
Something about nerd culture becoming popular that has made it okay to embrace that level of nerdiness and
Yeah.
inclusion, and we're all so excited. We would never have this Marvel franchise that we have that we all like Thor Ragnarok. I'm sure you guys have all seen it.
Oh my
No,
god.
I'm going to go see it today.
Yes, I'm incredibly
we saw
excited
it a
for
week
it.
ago.
That would not
To be
exist.
on this show more, you're gonna see movies early.
That wouldn't exist without people who are even like intro level nerds. That wouldn't exist
Right.
without people who are vaguely interested in this stuff. Like we
Well,
should be excited for this
so-
popularity.
Can I give you guys another? Well, go ahead. No, you go.
No, so I'm gonna come at you from the lens of cosplay, for example, since
Oh,
I'm a
good,
cosplayer.
good.
So like, so I am a co-founder of a group called Cosplay Connect, and we're all about building a new system of support for cosplayers because we know that there's still a lot of toxicity and negative in the community and whatnot. Oh, you're not that color, you can't cosplay that character, whatever.
Oh yeah. I was reading something on Facebook earlier about
It's-
these two groups. That
Yeah,
are fighting,
it's crazy.
And I'm like, I
But-
don't understand it. But
Yeah, so we just did our workshop at Anime Bonsai since we were talking about that, and we had a guy that was there, and he's left the cosplay community because of negativity and because by attending like our workshop, and we've done it twice now, like last year and this year. He's like back into cosplay and stuff, and like we had such meaningful conversations, and I think this relates to your topic because it's the same approach. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't know my character, like, come up and talk to me. I would
Yeah.
be more than happy to share this fandom with you, and I would tell you go home and binge watch this right now. Like,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, we're best of fucking friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's just this weird like stigma of like we're in our bubble and you're not a true fan and all these biases. And I heard another story of a guy who did this same thing of the woman that you were talking about,
Yeah,
but to
yeah.
a kid.
oh,
Who was
that's
like,
shitty.
That's
oh,
messed
you don't
up.
know
Okay.
Spider-Man, and that's just
That's
like, are you
just shitty.
serious?
So
Like,
this is like what I was actually going to talk about before you started talking. Is like, so everybody knows where I work for now. God damn.
Yeah.
But
Shaping young minds.
I love it. I love it that I see. So it was Halloween, and Halloween fucking sucks. But there were so many Spider-Mans and Captain Americas and Wonder Womans and Star Warses and stuff.
Jedi.
And then every single day I see like backpacks that are like, I'm like, fuck, I want that backpack.
oh,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna steal that from you.
You know, it's like no, it's like
I have an
and-
Overwatch backpack.
so like if
Girl.
I was that other type of geek, I might be like, so I see you got an Avengers backpack on. Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
Name every Avenger.
Name every Avenger. Tell me that fucking. And it's like, why? Why do you fucking care?
Yeah.
Why do you?
It's
don't
almost like a
fucking
competition
care?
to be the top nerd.
Right.
Like, what? Like,
Well, yeah, and it's
I-
like, God, Kerry, like, could you imagine how happy, how much, like, how less angry of a human being we would be if geeks were accepted today,
Oh, the way they're accepted today is it's
as
much
opposed
better.
to like when we were fucking little nerds.
Well, yeah. I mean, get,
Well, I'm with you guys too, though. Like when I was a nerd
Yeah.
too, though. Like I dropped out of high school to play Counter-Strike. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
fucking love you.
but I didn't have any friends. I didn't leave my house for 8 months.
I had like 4 friends. It was the guys I played D&D with.
Yeah.
It was my friend Carl who listens to the show, Carl Clark, and we would bring our muscle men.
oh, the little plastic.
Yeah, we'd
remember
sneak him into
Muscle
school,
Men, yeah.
and he was the only one. Like we're still, and I know all the other motherfuckers still had Transformers and shit at home,
Yeah.
right? But we were the only ones that were like, "Oh my god, check it out! I got fucking Soundwave." But we had to be like, we had to be like all quiet about it because, like, honestly, we'd be either like verbally abused or fucking physically abused.
I don't even want to hear that shit.
You know.
I don't even want to hear that. I'm sorry. I
know.
Do you know what it was like? Was living in Inglewood and being a geeky motherfucker.
Who was the most bullied?
It was worse, right? Exactly. Let's have a fucking competition.
Let's be top nerd.
Right?
Let's be top
that's
nerd.
a whole
So I'm
other
saying-
topic of
so
like
he's like
black nerdom.
He's
No.
like, no, black bullies are worse. That's what you're just fucking
right.
saying.
Basically, they are. They got names like Daquan. It's very
No,
mystical.
wait,
You don't
no,
know what it
it's-
means.
No, it's Decagone.
You pronounced it wrong again.
Well,
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
the Kerry Jackson
hey,
haymaker.
my fucking bullies were named like Chet and Levon.
Yeah.
You know?
Chet, was he in Weird Science?
My,
Chet.
my bullies were named Tommy
piece of
and
shit.
Ashley.
So going forward,
Oh
what would you like to relay to someone listening to this show who thinks, am I a bad geek? You know, what can you look out for?
I
Maybe
don't think
things
we-
that you
well-
don't think that you're doing. You know, I mean,
I
you
would-
may not be aware of.
This may sound like a weird answer, and it's really sad. It's like the same thing with cosplay that I have to say, be nice to each other. Like, you know what I mean?
Shit.
But
It's
I'm
good.
just saying,
No,
like,
that's good.
I mean, for me, it's genuine. Like, being true and genuine. Like, I was picked on, same kind of deal. I mean, I wasn't in Inglewood, but like I was in Central Valley farmland, California.
Oh,
That's still Stockton.
No, Fresno.
Oh, even worse. I'll pray for you.
Fresno, Tulare area.
Thoughts
yeah,
and
yeah.
quasi prayers.
Right. And like I was seen as just weird because I liked certain sci-fi movies. Like, oh my god, you guys, I just saw Dune. What the fuck is that? Life Force? No. Oh, okay. Oh. So I was
Life Force.
on beta, like, right, like, and so I mean, I feel like I have a really good relationship with someone who is genuinely into the same things
Yeah.
I'm into, and they're not going out of their way to try to one-up me. There's a difference in one-upping versus I'm actually sharing a genuine interest with you. I don't know anything about Orville. If a guy came up to me and was just like, oh my god, like, let me tell you about that, and it's genuine, like,
So
oh, we're
good.
probably going to be the best of friends if we don't date.
Well, I was gonna say the
As opposed to us, we're like, oh, you should watch the Orville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's fantastic.
but-
Right. It was a genuine, like, oh, you would really like this
but
show.
but
Like,
instead you're probably getting you're not watching.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah,
That's
like,
that's the wrong approach. It should
Well,
be
but-
I got someone I can tell this about.
Exactly.
Oh.
Share-
I could
genuinely
I could
share-
preach. I could preach.
Yeah,
Yes.
genuinely share your
bought-
fandoms with me because I'm probably genuinely gonna share it with you too.
I
so.
bonded with Tony over just the fact that we loved Green Lantern so
Yeah.
much. Like, because I grew up a John Stewart Green Lantern.
Darkest Night.
That's right. But he shared his ginger perspective
That's right.
of Guy Gardner, and I got really involved in it. Guy Gardner got the motherfucking
Justice
jacket.
League
That's right.
International
He's
is
got
one of
his-
the best
his combat
best
boots.
comics
Yeah.
ever. Justice
Yes.
League International.
Yes.
Cooey Cooey Cooey.
Yes.
And the Martian Manhunter is one of the greatest comic book arcs of all time. If you have not read it, go get Justice League International is everywhere. It's Dr. Volt's, like, they have it because they
It's-
know it's classic.
See, like right
it's
here.
amazing.
Keith Giffen and Kevin McGuire.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
Kevin
totally.
McGuire.
See, like right here, like my only knowledge of Martian Manhunter is Supergirl.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
know of him, and I'm totally cosplaying this character. I have no idea, so I know at Comic-Con someone's gonna be like Martian Manhunter. Do not quiz me
Do not.
on this. I know who he is. I like Supergirl.
Yeah.
But genuinely more like, give me some pointer. Like, what should I go read?
Tell me what to
Like,
read. Justice League International.
Any Justice League that, because
Fire and Ice Man.
Oh my God! Because there was this great period of Justice League where it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This is- Well, and this like magic that's happening right now, like all of us are excited. All of us are stoked.
And I'm gonna bring it around to it is it's my religion anyway, and that's you don't want to push people away from
No.
this thing
No.
that brings you such joy.
You
and
mean
helps-
like the Rick and Morty crowd?
yeah? Well, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
Right.
Dan
but
Harmon's
there's
a
a
good
few.
egg.
Yeah, Dan Harmon.
Well,
Yeah,
no, it's like every like fandom
yeah.
has its shitty fans. Like I think back to being like a punk rocker in the '80s, right? And as soon as any
Nazi
like,
punks, fuck off.
oh sure, yeah, we chased them out, but God, then they took
Now
over.
they're in office.
Now they're in office. Well, I guess we chased them to Washington D.C. But
Yeah.
fucking, I always got like I never got mad at a band for getting successful.
No, I never.
I
did
never
either.
got.
Yeah.
And now if
never
they got
understood that.
shitty.
That's always confused me.
Now, if their music got shitty, Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? Like, then I was like, fuck
Well,
them.
but-
right,
and-
but I
yeah.
never got mad. Like, if anybody would be like, "Oh my god, I started listening to this; it's so good," I was never like, "Well, have you heard this and this?" I would say,
I
"Well,
recommend-
if you like it now."
Take a look
you
at
should,
this.
You should listen to this album and this
Right.
album
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's really fun. Like Soundgarden's a perfect example for me.
Oh yeah, Chris
I-
Cornell, rest in peace.
Yeah, I saw Soundgarden 4 times, I think, at little venues here. I think I think I saw them at the Speedway Cafe. I know I saw them at the Speedway
Holy
Cafe.
shit.
I saw them at that place that's a church. Oh, it was called the Church. That's where I blew out my knee the first time. And I saw them several times, and I was like, every time I was like, they're fucking amazing. These guys are fucking amazing. And then, when the whole grunge thing happened,
Yeah.
and they blew up, I was never like, well, fuck this band because they're popular now, and fuck the new people that like them. Obviously, these are people that enjoy good fucking music. And now I've got more people that I could talk about.
Right.
They're really loud. The album Louder Than Love. Never drive while you're on acid listening to that album because it's hard.
Maybe don't
but
drive
again-
on acid at all.
But again, it's going back to that genuine, like,
Yeah.
it's not there's nothing fake about it. This is what you love. This is your fandom,
Well, yeah,
your
and-
passion, and you're sharing that with others.
And I want all of you listening to think about that thing that makes you feel warm inside, that geeky thing that means so much to you. Why don't you want to share that? You know?
Exactly.
Why don't you want everyone to feel that way
And if,
about
and if you're talking to
you know?
females, like again, like
Exactly.
Like, what does it
that-
fucking matter? Like what your genitals are.
You know?
You know what I mean?
Like I
really
said,
doesn't.
like I said, if we don't become friends, we might date. Like you guys are
Yeah.
always complaining about dates and no girls like me. Like, well, maybe it's your approach.
Yeah, maybe if you let women.
Maybe
Exactly,
you're-
exactly.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. You know, maybe you're friend zoned because you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Because
mean?
Because you're a condescending piece of shit.
Because you can't name all the Robins, for
Right.
fuck's sake.
Serious.
I hear that story, and I'm getting angry, and I'm like, oh my god.
What it,
That guy still.
and that bothers me. What if that keeps you from serving that D? Is like, oh, she couldn't name all of the Robins. Bitch, get
God
the
damn.
fuck out of here. Like, get over that shit.
Look, here's the thing. My wife can't name any of the Robins, all right?
And she don't give one fuck.
She don't give one fuck about
No.
any of this
Yo.
stuff. It's you know, she's got her thing, and I got my thing,
Exactly.
and we meet in the middle. You know?
But you're super excited when she's like, "Oh, I like this."
Yeah.
Right?
It
You're
gets-
like, "All right, baby."
It gets exciting. Like Stranger Things. I can't watch Stranger Things
Yeah.
because she wants to watch it with
Oh,
me.
and that feels so
know?
good
No.
to be able to share stuff.
My girl don't know who Beta Ray Bill is or Nino Brown from New Jack City
Yeah,
is, but I
yeah.
still serve that D.
Wait. Was it Nino Brown played by by Wesley Snipes?
Yes, Wesley Snipes.
Sure
Huh?
enough.
Money,
Let's,
money.
Look at it from a pragmatic point of view, too. The things you love might not be big, but if you get people to like them, you will get more of what you love.
Oh,
Right.
hey, first of all,
Literally.
just so that you know, the things that they love is big.
What are you referring to?
Look at his hands. I mean, that's all you need to
A
know.
prime example of that would be the series Ruby. Like
Uh-huh.
Ruby started off really small, blew up like
Yeah.
crazy,
You get-
and again, people sharing. Like
That's
I
the
know
thing.
my friends told me that they were like, "Kira, we think Rooster Teeth should like pay you because you're like a personal hype man for them." I don't
Right.
know. Like every time I turn around, you're like, "Oh, check out this trailer!" Like I did to you
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah,
like,
yep.
Hey, you should look at this show.
That's the thing.
You
If
did
you
play
look
the
at-
shit out of that trailer too.
Well, no,
If
and
you look at the Marvel movies,
that's what I was just going to
the Marvel movies would not be anywhere near as big as they are today if it weren't for the average consumer that was introduced to this stuff by their
Well,
geeky friends and
Kerry-
said, "Hey, I like this."
And because of that, you and I have been getting shit that we've been waiting for fucking 30
Oh,
years.
we've been
Exactly.
waiting
30 or
too long.
more years.
If you'd have told me you're going to get a Doctor Strange movie, it's going to be good and successful. If you'd have told me that 25 years ago, I'd have laughed your ass out of my house.
But like,
Someone
just
would have
like,
told me that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Tony Stark. Whew.
But
Well,
let's
you know,
not.
like Thor.
Right?
Like Thor,
But let's not
Sexy.
forget, though, using the Marvel movies as an example, is that let's be honest, people like us who know this shit inside and out, there are very few of us.
Right.
So
Right.
it is as I call them, the pedestrians
right.
that make these movies successful. It's not just us.
But-
No,
you know?
there's not enough geeks in America to make
But
$1
what-
billion on the Avengers.
Exactly.
But what a fucking special treat it is for us
Yes.
to do because they're making this big spectacle, but
Yeah.
they throw in all this little bullshit for us assholes.
Yeah, the little fan services.
Yeah.
And
you
see,
know.
that's why I'm saying
And
is
that's great.
when the pedestrians come to you, don't quiz them about how many Robins there are.
Don't
Just
gatekeep. Don't
just
close
say,
the gate.
I'm glad you're
I'm
interested.
glad you're into it. It's like, and how fucking funny was this part? And how
Yeah.
fucking awesome
Yeah.
was this part?
I did it here earlier when they were talking about they were talking about Korg
Yeah.
over here. The
Korg was
I love Korg.
amazing.
and I
Oh,
said, well, if
good.
you like Korg, I didn't go, you don't know who Korg is? I said, if you like Korg, there's a lot of him and Meek in Planet Hulk.
Yep.
Yes,
And they're
there's-
very,
so that's
and they're
what you
very
do.
different.
Very different
They're
characters.
very different,
but
they're
still
in there.
good.
But also,
it made the movie that much more enjoyable
Yeah.
for
well,
me.
who's my favorite? Who's my favorite fucking superhero?
Well, Hulk.
It's the
Hulk,
Hulk.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's my favorite fucking storyline of all time is Planet Hulk.
And
this
World
is
War
the
Hulk, yeah.
and this is the closest I'm ever gonna get to a Planet Hulk movie.
Yes.
Right, and it
That
gave
is.
us little shout outs, right?
That's what you think. You never know, though.
Well,
no,
Crazy.
God,
Legal battle.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
After watching Thor Ragnarok, I want a fucking Hulk movie
so bad.
fucking
I
bad.
know.
no, like-
So fucking
And it feels
bad.
selfish
Kari.
because you got two shitty garbage movies. You know what
Kari,
I mean?
wait till you see it. No, like honestly,
this movie-
you watch Thor Ragnarok. Like I'm
going
sorry,
today.
it's such a fucking.
I look
good
at it
movie.
as
can't wait.
I look at it as a Hulk movie that Thor happens to bumble about.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
And-
equal parts Hulk and Thor for
Yeah.
sure.
The fact that they changed Korg that little bit where he's just cute, right?
Hey man,
Hey man. Hey man. Hey, we're about to go get on the spaceship. You want to go? You know?
so good.
I'm not really too crazy about spoilers. Like some spoilers, I don't mind. Some
Yeah, I don't care
but
either.
I don't really care. But can someone please tell me how amazing Hela and Valkyrie is?
Oh, they're so cool. So cool.
Those are the two I'm like
So
really
good.
Look at all the
excited
boys.
for.
You see, I actually moved my hips a little bit when you asked that question.
First of
Everybody
all-
blushed a
Yeah.
little.
I got really excited
Fucking-
because of those two. And
First
I'm
of all,
like, oh.
fucking Valkyrie is going to be your new favorite.
I want to
She's
cosplay her.
amazing.
So bad.
She is awesome.
I can't wait.
And
I was like-
Hela.
I was like watching Valkyrie going, I want to be her.
Yeah, I like I want to wear that.
Just the trailer, I'm like, I want to be her.
They're so
Jesus,
good.
Hela, though.
Hela was
Hela.
awesome.
Kate Blanchett.
She's
oh,
so amazing.
Kate Blanchett is one of my. I loved the
She's
Constantine
amazing.
movie.
Yeah.
Not to be a fucking weirdo, but that
I
movie
like that
was
movie too.
excellent
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Zatanna Zadara is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time ever. So that comes with Constantine, and I think, goddamn, like those fucking movies.
She's nefarious.
She's just amazing.
She's great.
She's
She's
strong.
androgynous.
I saw
She-
a special
oh.
where she was saying this is like the most fun she's played. being
she's
like a
strong.
villain.
No,
so
you-
I would
gritty.
say
And
she's
you could tell.
androgynous
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah.
She
I feel
is
like you would be
very
able to
female.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
And just, I'll say it. It's just like I was like, oh,
And
this carbonates something inside of me.
well,
Yeah.
and see
Like-
and you read the comics, and it's like she's got that big headpiece thing,
The antlers
and I'm
looking
like,
things.
when I heard that she was going to be in the movie, I was like, they're not going to do that.
No,
did it.
Did
fucking
they?
did
it was good.
Not only that, but
Hela,
when she fights,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
She's
so
just-
excited.
she's amazing.
It's
And I'll tell you,
very cool.
You guys have like afterglow. You have
Oh,
real
no, like, I'll tell you-
afterglow.
well,
I'm
for
so
me-
excited.
So
I'm
fucking
yeah, like
For me, I
post-Thor
love-
They're hyping me up.
I loved the Thor comics when I was a kid. Like I'm 12 years old, and Walt Simonson drawing with Hela,
oh yeah,
it
yeah,
awakened
yeah.
something inside.
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
And to see Kate Blanchett in that fucking outfit,
But
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
But-
I'm just like every
me-
time she came on the screen, I was like, oh. Every time Thor took off his shirt, Jen was like, oh, you know.
God.
but at the same time, on the that's the thing. What I love about Thor Ragnarok. Obviously, for the ladies, you get Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off, and you get to see.
Well, I'm pretty gay, if we're being honest.
Fair enough.
So-
I was gonna say I'm
So you're gonna
actually
be-
more excited to see
But Tessa-
Hela and
I was gonna say, well, you guys
but
are
Tessa-
super
Valkyrie.
enchanted.
Yeah, but
then.
Tessa-
I'm more
Yeah.
excited to see them.
Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie.
I know.
Was like
That's what we were just talking about.
That was my big turn on. I was
Yeah.
like,
And I
Killer.
remembered where I saw where I've seen her before, and it was what was the White People show? What was it?
oh, Dear White People.
Dear White
Dear
People.
White People.
She's
Wasn't
from that.
she also
Yeah.
in Creed?
Yes.
Who is she in
And
Dear White
Creed,
People?
yeah. I can't remember that, but I
I'll
remember
have to look it
I'd
up.
seen her.
But
before.
bottom line, everyone
She's so good.
that listens to the show needs to watch Dear White People at least once.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited to see. I'm gonna just roll up to the movie theater
Oh, you
today,
should,
playing
and-
the immigrant song.
And if
Yes.
and it's used in there 2 times.
Yeah. At least two
I'm so
times.
excited. I'm so excited.
And
That song
like-
and the trailer just got me so hyped.
Everybody in that movie is on point. And I've seen a lot of people griping about it.
I don't know.
That it's a betrayal of Thor's character.
No.
How? Go back and
you-
watch all that shit. He's always been kind of a jockey dope,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Bring me
he is
another.
he is the blunt force,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? And he is fucking hilarious.
Well, and as I was saying to these guys, is that the reason that Thor is the way he is, and again, we can't use comic book continuity as a rule here because this is the movie Thor.
Exactly.
He's been hanging out with humans. He's picked up their mannerisms,
Right.
characteristics, and speech
Right.
patterns. All right, so that's why he makes the jokes that he does.
and
So it makes perfect sense.
and
you
I'm
know?
just gonna say, as a Hulk fan, it's the best Hulk shit
You'll get.
oh,
we
absolutely.
have ever seen
By far.
to this point.
by far.
He is not only Hulk but Banner,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
He's
Mark
so-
Ruffalo was fantastic.
Oh my God, he's so Ruffalo. Even when he's not Hulk, is so funny. He's
Yeah.
like,
He's
what?
a good person.
Yeah, and he's a good person
Yeah,
too.
I've met him at Sundance before, and he
Yeah.
was incredibly kind to me. Incredibly
He
kind.
just seems like a kind person.
Yeah.
But then him asking, "Why are you being so weird?" He's like, I don't know. Maybe because I've been trapped in a giant green monster for 2 years. you might be weird too.
He might be. He
so
might also
good.
be kind
I-
of weird.
Are these Tony's pants?
I love.
They're so tight.
I love Thor Ragnarok for so many reasons. I mean, well, one, if you love the Hulk And if you listen to this podcast, and if you've ever gotten drunk with Jimmy Martin,
Oh, Jimmy, he should be here.
yeah,
to be
I know.
honest.
And Jimmy and Leigh, I miss you. But like I
I
said,
miss him, but I'm gonna say I'm so glad you two are here.
Oh,
agree,
thank
This has been a
you.
good show.
agree.
I genuinely have had a lovely time right now.
Agree.
This is awesome. This is like a dream come true. So thank you guys for having me.
No, it's all good. But like I said it after the movie. Regular Hulk is drunk Jimmy Martin. If you, no, like honestly, if you've ever gotten drunk with Jimmy, with the part where he goes, "Please stay, please, friend, please." Friend, please stay.
Oh
Friend,
my
stay. Please
Am I
stay.
gonna cry during this part?
No,
'Cause
like-
I'm getting crying.
No,
vibes.
no.
Okay.
If you've ever been drunk with Jimmy Martin,
You're blowing my mind right now.
yeah, no, like I said it, but the thing is the soundtrack is great.
It's like a John Carpenter movie
Well,
soundtrack.
you got Mark Mothersbaugh, Devo.
yeah, Devo guy.
You know,
yeah.
so-
and then just I mean I have a massive theory that I told Nirvana and Kerry about that. I can't say it on this show
No,
because it'll spoil the shit out of it.
You're going to put it on a video.
Yeah, well, it's going to be on the Geek Show
Yeah.
YouTube, and just listen to go see the movie and then watch Thor Ragnarok. Made me feel better about America. That's all I'll say.
Well,
Oh, that's deep.
and my one sentence review of the movie is this is the movie that the world needs right now.
Yes.
Exactly, I agree.
yay.
Just go in.
I'm glad it
turn
was
off,
funny.
Turn off for 2 hours and 10 minutes. you
And
know?
just not every fucking movie has to change the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a fun comedy with the
this
Hulk
one,
in it.
But this one has so many layers to it. You haven't even heard. Like I called Kerry.
His theory, yeah.
It's pretty sound, and
We gotta wrap this up. Do you have games,
I do,
Tony?
yep.
Let's do games and we'll call it a day.
All right, coming out this week, we got a big one for the Nintendo Switch, Farming Simulator.
yeah.
oh shit, get
I'm
them
gonna plant
crops.
some
You want-
barley. I'm gonna plant some barley.
You want to drive a tractor?
Not
You can
to,
drive a tractor.
Not to shit on everybody's parade, but you should just play Stardew Valley because it's better.
But Kari, we got Farming Simulator.
Farming Simulator.
Does Stardew Valley have John Deere?
It could if you want it to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help
whatever.
birth a cow.
I've been I was raised on an actual farm. Trust me, you don't.
You don't want to birth a cow?
You don't want to be
It's
there.
oppressive.
You don't want to be there.
Carrie started
I'm
to
with you,
sweat
Carrie.
thinking about playing that game.
I'll tell you a story sometime. It's,
Oh, she was on a farm too.
You're a farm girl?
Sort of.
Oh, Fresno, yeah.
Well, it's hilarious specifically, and lots.
You
of
can't
fun.
see it, but Jay winces every time he says the word Fresno.
No, because if that's just a Cali thing. If you know, you're like,
Yeah.
I pray for you.
what else?
All right, we got episode 4 of the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's been going well so far.
I'm gonna
So
wait.
you guys, I've never played any of these Telltale games.
Borderlands.
Aren't they kind of like Dragon Slayer?
No, because you know your problem that you have with video games.
ADHD.
None of that is a problem in these games.
You'll
You
Yeah.
mean they're not Horde?
No. You just got to have one button at a time.
Yep.
It's one button at a time. Seriously,
I can probably play these games.
Yeah.
You should take my Batman one home and play it.
It's good.
What do you have to play it on?
Xbox? Do you have
I
Xbox?
don't have a. Why would I have
Does
a
Egg?
fucking?
Does Egg have an Xbox? Okay, good.
Borderlands
Borrow X's
made me a
Xbox.
true believer in Telltale games.
I love Borderlands.
And I love that
good
Kari's
stuff.
I love that Kari. One of Kari's @names is Vault Tech.
I know. It's
Vault-Tec?
me.
Nice. Let's see. We also got Hitman Game of the Year edition, so you get all the DLCs and everything rolled
Yeah.
into
I'm
one.
waiting for the main one. It's November. Come on. I'm sure.
Bring
you're
it
gonna-
to
Oh, I'll get there. I'll get there. Hand of Fate 2. I don't know. We got now. This one's good. The new expansion content for Horizon Zero Dawn:
Oh
The
my
Frozen
God.
Wilds. That looks
That
good.
game is like the Uncanny Valley. They do like
so-
facial capture.
so good.
It's the most like because you know in most video games like you're like that's a robot that looks stupid when
Yeah.
somebody's talking. It's the most beautiful. Like they like their eyes dart and their eyebrows lift. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Real good. And
It's
then
technology.
if you have a 4K HDR TV and a PS4 Pro,
Yeah.
it looks ridiculous.
Show enough, show
Just
new.
ridiculous. Let's see. We got Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Episode 4.
My 10-year-old will love that. I love my son.
Need for Speed Payback
Ooh, I haven't played a
Deluxe
Need for-
Edition.
I haven't played a Need for
What the
Speed
fuck?
in a
I
while.
mean,
Yeah.
it's been
been a
Need
minute
for
for
Speed.
Need-
Like,
It's been a while since
when
they
does
put out
the
a
Need for Speed actually just like dwindle?
You
Yeah, when is it
always need
fulfilled?
speed. No,
It's just a fun
Nah.
race. It's a fun racing game.
No,
when's
I
the
don't
need
need
for
speed.
I know
rehab?
some people that died from their need for speed.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what's the need
Yeah.
for rehab? Like, when does that come out?
I mean, well, it depends. Like, I'm more concerned about the refractory period. You know, like I go
21
for
minutes.
technique and finesse.
Yeah. I'm sure you can do that in this game too.
No, I'm not a
been
need
a
for
while.
speed. I'm more. It's
Pole position?
pole position. The quest for finesse. That's what I like to call it.
I would play a game called Meh for Meh.
We got Super Lucky's Tale for Xbox One and Windows. Yeah. But the big one this week,
COD.
Xbox One X comes out.
Oh, no, not Call
What?
of Duty World War II? We're
No.
not even going to mention
Wait,
that?
and I'm like, would it be Battlefront?
I'm still getting there.
Spoilers.
Just relax. This is a big deal, though. Xbox One X. It's basically Microsoft's answer to the PS4 Pro.
Yep.
It's 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One, and it plays all the Xbox One games.
Okay.
And all the Xbox 360 backwards compatible games that
It
you can
smells
play
like
before.
peace.
And I don't know how it smells, but it's another one of those. If you have a 4K HDR TV, it's worth an investment because unlike the PS4 Pro, this one also comes with 4K Blu-ray player, so you can get all
okay.
your pretty 4K Blu-rays.
Maybe I'll jump from 360 to.
It's you have an
Yeah.
Xbox One right now, but you should
Do I?
yeah,
Oh, I thought I had a 360.
you did before, but now you got a one.
Oh,
I have
thank
a-
you.
I have
and
a one.
and
He's
now
your tech manager. I'm one of those as well. Yeah.
Now you definitely should look at getting an Xbox One X.
Okay.
If he's ever in the hospital, Kerry, you call me.
I thought I just had a, I said a 360. I thought I had a 360. Okay.
Okay,
So I watched Star Trek on it.
that's all you care about.
It's my Star Trek machine.
It's my Star Trek machine.
We got also. It's kind of a big week for games because we're getting into the holiday season, so everyone's putting out their
It's the
their
holiday
biggest stuff.
season, everyone.
Uh,
I'm going to say Merry Christmas this goddamn year because it's safe.
The war on Christmas.
It is fucking. I hope you guys all have a Merry fucking Christmas. I'm
Such
saying
a
it right
rebel.
now.
You're such a rebel. Oh my gosh.
look at
Standing
that,
up for
throwing
Christmas.
throwing it down.
Merry Christmas.
On the Switch, get ready to fight the demons from hell. Doom is on the Switch.
Oh.
The new Doom that came out last year.
It's so good.
That's a great game.
It's amazing.
Fantastic
the
game.
reskinned old school levels are goddamn incredible.
I'm gonna put this out there. I don't care what nobody says. I liked the Doom movie. It wasn't fantastic.
With Carl
but
Urban,
I
yes.
like it.
And The Rock.
People give me shit for it, but I'm like, I like it. Screw you guys.
I
Let's
wanted
see.
to be one of the black guys in the.
I
Doom
wanted to be
movie.
Reaper. Carl Urban was freaking amazing.
Yeah. See.
There's a whole bunch of amiibos coming out this week. Batman, the Telltale series game we were talking about, comes out on the Switch this week.
It's pronounced Batman.
Batman.
Hello, I'm the Batman.
That is, I don't know what one you're excited for because that's it according to my
Or
list.
if you said this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the month. I thought
Oh
you
no
meant
no, this
Yeah.
is just for this week.
Call
just
of
for this
Duty
week.
World War. They have to go back to
And
the.
I'm like, I'm excited for Battlefront. I already got my pre-order.
Oh, Battlefront
so.
2 is looking good.
Star Wars 2.
And you know what?
Excited.
Actually, I've been watching this shit. It almost makes me want to buy a video game machine
Was it?
to get the Battlefront.
Yeah.
I
But
like.
then, but then
Oh,
I'll
well.
play it and I'll hate it.
There's a lot of buttons you got to push.
too hard.
I like that you call it a video game machine.
I'm gonna go buy a video game machine. you
Well,
guys.
and I'll be getting this one because it's finally just single player shit.
Yeah, it'll have
You know.
single player campaign.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that-
so excited
'Cause
just for
they're
the campaign
antisocial.
alone.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
So the
in the other
campaign
one.
in this looks really good because it takes place after Return of the Jedi, but before Rogue One, and you play as one of the Imperial like officers,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Who is a
okay.
female.
You'll
Yeah.
love it. It's like playing in the
Female.
it looks really good.
movie. Female.
That is it
I'm
for this.
excited.
That is it for this week.
That's
Kinda,
it?
you almost kind of have to explain why we say that. The
I can't remember.
Well,
was-
it was one of the first times we had a woman guest
Yeah.
on. And who was it that said
It
it?
was me.
No, it was a listener.
it was a listener.
Who,
Oh, yeah.
who sent an email or some
And
shit.
all it said was
Oh,
And it
female.
was, who was the female?
Who
Oh
was
my
the
God.
Who was the female?
Yeah, just a healthy tip for nerds out there. Don't call women females.
Yeah.
We don't like it.
Who is the female?
Bring us the female.
Yeah.
I mean, we like it when Shannon says it because it's hilarious.
Yeah, but
I guarantee you, we're gonna get so many like, you guys, that episode was so good, so good, female.
I hope that does become our battle
Who was the
cry.
black person? That was my episode. That was my
Yeah,
first
yeah.
episode.
Now I just want to say males.
But that's where it came from. That's why that was more of a nod
Well, but,
to that listener.
But thanks to both of you for coming in.
Thank you for
thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Oh, please invite me back again.
Oh,
You guys
absolutely.
are my
Yeah.
new best friend.
Absolutely.
I didn't get to fight with anyone about Joss Whedon this time because Leigh's gone.
Well, just quickly, how do you feel about Joss Whedon doing the Batgirl movie?
I feel okay about it with his recent, like, the revelations with his wife, kind of weird, a little weird, but I trust his ability creatively, which sucks. It's like a weird thing. Feels weird.
Okay.
But in the light, like with Joss Whedon, I'm like, ugh, kind of fucking crappy, bro.
Yeah,
not
it's
cool.
gross. It's gross, but, also,
but
like,
in the light of recent
Oh,
allegations of other people, I'm just like,
that's not a big deal.
yeah,
Like, I hate
whatever.
to say that. I said it, though. You didn't. Let that be known that I said it and you didn't. I also trust Joss Whedon creatively. I like his shits. They're
Firefly.
golden.
Speaking of which, you guys, what is it? What's today? The 4th? It's 12 days to a Justice League movie.
I'm so excited.
It made my hips move again.
Don't-
It made my hips move
Don't get
again.
me started.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but then I'm just going in.
It's
with
gonna be
a cert-
so. No, it's
I
gonna
think
be
it's
okay.
gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. I love
It's gonna
Barry.
be okay, Kiki.
Barry. Like, I
As a
love the
DC
Flash.
girl, I'm the hysterical voice that Shannon just uses in my head all the
We
time.
get to
me
see
too.
Cyborg.
I know that's the
Cyborg,
big
you
thing.
guys.
Excited to be see
Victor
Cyborg,
Mira.
Strong. What's his name? Victor.
but I love the Flash, and I don't know how I feel about the
But
Flash.
that's no, I love Cyborg because he was a jock from the get go,
Right.
And became
So
a
is
nerd.
Booster Gold.
No, but yeah, I know, but
He was also a
He
janitor.
was kind of a disgraced jock.
yeah.
It's true. He stole some shit.
Mr.
All right,
B,
yeah.
Mr. B, if you would please.
Okay. So this is. You say you like ham. You say you want to eat more of this ham. Can you tell me how fucking ham is made, lady?
Female.
Female.
Oh, Jesus.